I just woke up a little while ago. I've been thinking. Obviously, I've been kind of up and down in my dieting for the last few years, my eating plans, lifestyle changes. But now I have embarked on a journey. I've been embarking on a journey for a couple days, and that just involves eating good food. I know that we have to eat meat. I know that we need to eat plants. But our ratios are going to be different because we're all unique individuals, and you might need some more meat than me. I might need some more carbohydrates, vice versa. I mean, you might be fine with a certain kind of fruit, and that might make my stomach feel a little bit upset. But basically what I'm doing is I'm not buying any more hormone-laden crap meat from the grocery store at all. I've made that commitment to myself. If I have to go vegetarian for a week because I can't get my hands on some meat that is good, I'll do it. I've already made up my mind to do that. And the same thing for organic fruits and vegetables. If I can't get it organic, then I'm just not going to be eating fruits and vegetables until I can. Now, usually there's pretty much always at least one or two vegetable or fruit choices in the grocery stores that are organic. Of course, you don't have as wide of a variety in the regular grocery stores because usually everything is pesticide filled. The other day, I actually bought some cauliflower in the freezer section instead of going over and buying it fresh, where they spray a little water on it and stuff and it sits out there in its whole form. Because I knew that stuff probably had 16 to 50 different pesticides sprayed on it. I mean, I just heard about this the other day that some guy, I'm not sure where it was exactly, I forget that, or when it was, but it was relatively recently, where he just walked into, it was either a middle school or an elementary school, grabbed a student lunch, and then went to the lab and got it tested. You're not going to believe how many pesticides were in this thing. Not 1, not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, 52 pesticides. So if you send your kids to go get the school lunch every day, you might as well just say, hey, little Jimmy, go get your death suicide, go become retarded, go catch a disease, go, go be the first one in our family to get cancer. I mean, school lunches are an absolute no-no. I mean, if you care about your kids' health, you need to stop with the school lunches. There is no way I will let my kid eat school lunches. I mean, there's just no way. I'll do whatever it takes. But I learned a lot about the soil the other day and how deep down in the soil there's an entire world going on. I mean, there's microorganisms having sex, there's killing, there's feasting upon bodies. I mean, it's a really radical world down there. It's not like all peaceful or anything like we think. There's everything going on. So basically what happens, from what I've read and what I understand, basically the soil has lots of microorganisms in it, and the plant roots come down. It's basically like War of the Worlds or something I think that's with Tom Cruise, but where those creatures, they just like grab the human and then it just blood everywhere and they like feast on the blood and the body or whatever. That's kind of what plants are like. Plants are extremely carnivorous. They like meat, okay? Those organisms are made out of meat, and what happens is they basically get delivered up to the plants, and the plants basically suck up their their nervous system and their organs. Yeah, plants are the most carnivorous thing on the planet, and don't be fooled. And these earthworms come around basically, and they eat these organisms. They poop them out. Then the plants take up and eat the body after it's been killed, and then they leave. They send some of it back down to the soil for little critters to eat, and then that process and that continuing process with water and with minerals continues to go on and on and on. And the longer it goes on, then the better nutrient content you get of the soil and the better growth you can see from the soil. And so then we get this nice, beautiful, stalk of, I don't know, broccoli or whatever it is, and it's filled with all of this nutrients. But on the other hand, when you have non-organically, okay, organic, all that means is regular. That's just regular food, man. That's just what we've been eating. The other stuff is the non-regular food. But they don't want you to think of it in terms like that. That's why they put all these labels on it like, oh, USDA certified, organic, all this stuff, because, oh, you eat the organic stuff, why don't you just eat the regular stuff? When people say that, they don't understand what they're talking about, because they are the ones that are not eating the regular stuff. So, with these non-organic or non-regularly grown fruits and vegetables, they use pesticides to kill everything in the soil. Okay, they kill the earthworms, they kill all of the organisms, they kill everything that they can with chemicals. And so, just like Paul Chek said, why does a homeless man eat out of a trash can? Because he has to. That's why. So why does a plant continue to feed on that soil and suck up those pesticides and chemicals? Because they're starving, because they have to. The plant is literally starving to death. So whatever you put in front of it, it's going to suck up. So guess what it sucks up? Those chemicals, those pesticides, those last little microorganisms that are all tainted by the chemicals. And so then we, get that broccoli, get that cauliflower, and guess what? It looks the same as a certified organic cauliflower. It smells the same. It might be about the same size, but it's full of pesticides, and it has about 1/10 of the nutrition that is in the certified organic fruit or vegetable. So not only are we not getting enough nutrition, so when we eat that crappy cauliflower or fruit or vegetable, then we feel more hungry because we're not getting as much nutrients as we should be from that fruit or vegetable. And on top of that, we're filling our bodies with chemicals and pesticides. I mean, is it any wonder why people can't have children today? Is it any wonder why breast cancer is soaring? Is it any wonder why we have so many children with Down syndrome? Is it any wonder why all of these things are happening? Oh, maybe it's the 50 pesticides that are in our fruit and vegetables. Just a thought. I'm no doctor here, I'm no genius, but I do value common sense and logical thinking. So maybe we better get thinking on that. Obviously, I mean, if you don't already know, there are 4 or 5 companies that are in charge of 90% of the United States food. So, money needs to go to local farmers and to any organically farmed product. I mean, I have to get my meat from Texas. I live in Idaho, and I'm getting meat from Texas because they have a totally organic, clean, humanely raised farm. All of their animals eat their natural diets. The cows graze on grass. The pigs are out in the wild, eating whatever they can find. And it's just a beautiful thing. And there's not, they're not treated like the animals that are on these slaughtering farms. They just cycle them through, and They feed them corn, genetically modified corn, to make them fatter really quickly, and then they take them in and they just, slaughter them, and there's no care, there's no life for the cow. They're just standing in their own shit all day. They have diseases that they have to get antibiotics for and shots. They're also being pumped full of hormones, so I mean, cows aren't bodybuilders, so they don't need, those things. It's just really sad to me, man. It's not only sad for my health, for my family's health, for my health, and for the health of others, but it's sad for the animal too, because the animal deserves a life as well. I mean, yeah, we're gonna eat the animal. That is the natural process of life. Just like the plant, man, the plant is like killing all kinds of things down there to, suck up its nervous system and its organs and its brain and stuff and eat it. Very, very carnivorous. But the plant, we want the plant to have a good life. We want the organism to have a good life. We don't want it to be dying and, sick with some disease because it's covered in pesticides. We want we want everything to be able to live its life in the fullest that it can, to serve its purpose, to serve its measure. And that's not happening with all of the meat and all of the vegetables that are not organically farmed and organically raised. That's the big deal. I didn't think that there was a huge deal about it. I thought there was a little difference in between a fruit and vegetable that was, not USDA or not organically grown compared to, versus the other kind. But there's a humongous difference. I mean, this stuff, when we eat this stuff, pesticides in our body, they actually work against our neurological system. They are, neurological toxic agents. So they mess with our nervous system. And what are we seeing today? We are seeing so many neurological disorders that we don't know where it came from. Oh, that just comes with age, blah, blah, blah. I know we're making up excuses. Oh, that happened to so many people before, but we're only finding it now because of science. Like, oh, so many people in the past have died from these things hundreds, even thousands of years ago. Give me a break, man. That's just simply not true. And I don't believe that. I'm not going to buy that at all. That's just basically a group of very evil people, and money-hungry people and power-hungry people are basically owning part of the almost all of the food supply. Not all, but almost all of it. They have their hands in pharmaceutical companies. They have their hands on banks. They have their hands on funding for colleges. Okay, so if you're teaching something that they don't like, if you're teaching, oh, we can just farm organically, regular farming like we've done since the beginning of time, then they're going to pull your funding. And you're not going to get funding to the school anymore. For banks, they're the ones who can constantly give farmers loans. For the pharmaceuticals, they not only give pharmaceuticals they don't only sell those to the people who they are making sick, but they also sell those to the farmers for the animals who they are making sick. So no matter what happens, they get money. It has no effect on them if one part of that equation weakens, because it's a cycle and they will continue to get money. No matter what happens, farmer goes out of business. Oh, another one needs a loan. Animal sick. Oh, let's sell it some drugs. Oh, people are getting sick, so they're not liking our produce anymore. Oh no, people are too stupid. They're not going to look into that. They just think they're eating a regular piece of corn. They don't know that it has 52 pesticides on it, or that it's genetically modified, or that it's come 1,500 miles from across the United States, sometimes even out of the United States. They have no idea what's going on. So they're just going to keep on, sucking down the government cheese. And I'm not saying that I don't think there's anything radical that is going to be done about this thing for the time being right now. But what I do think that we can do is vote with our wallets. We can take out our wallets and we can vote. Yeah, it costs a little bit more to buy the organic stuff. But think about all of the pain that you most likely will not have to go through by raising a child who eats that way and, is getting diseases by the time they're 18, 19, 25, 30. Imagine how much better and enriched the quality of your life is going to be because of that. And not only that, you want to leave this world intact by supporting this pesticide way of farming and this hormonized, injected way of raising the meats and feeding them corn, stuff that they weren't physiologically designed to eat. Doing that sort of thing is going to continue to tear down the earth, and the earth is so far gone already. The tree lines are already receding. So, you know what the Indians said? They said as soon as the white man doesn't stop his ways, the tree lines will start to recede, and that is the end of the world. Well, that's happening now. So the one thing that you can do that is not a hard thing to do is shop organically for everything. If you can't buy your meat at the supermarket anymore, go online. There are plenty of places around. There might even be one near you that you don't know about, maybe 30 or 60 miles away, where you can load up on meat. Yeah, it's going to be more expensive. It's not going to have freaking hormones in it. So when you're feeding it to your kids, you're feeding it to your wife, you're putting it in your own mouth, you invite a guest over, then they're eating good meat. Don't be fooled. Oh, when I cook it, those hormones go out, those pesticides go out. That's simply a lie. That's not true. They are inside the cells of the meat. Okay? Whatever it is the cell of the meat. Whatever is that cell. If I eat a banana split, then my cells that are regenerating in my body are going to actually be used from that raw material. Okay? So a better example is just a banana. If that banana has pesticides on it, there are particles of those pesticides that are going to be in my cell. That's why cells in our body have funky, weird things going on. That's why we get diseases. That's why we see these weird cell deformations and stuff like that. If you eat an organic banana, you're not going to get that. You're just going to get the raw materials of the banana with a ton of nutrients. That's it. So, go organic. Do it for your health, man. If I need to, I'll sell my car. I will sell everything in my closet in order to eat organic from this point on. Well, I already started this before, but I'm just saying, do whatever you have to. Health is the most important thing that we have in life. What else do we have if we don't have health?